y'all like that stuff. But I consider that my day job, you know. Love singing is my day job. This is my hobby. But I'll give you the one. All right, well, yeah, let's stay in the country vein. I'll talk a little bit about my background, because I don't know how much some of you know. I know some of you are the super fans that know everything, but if you don't know, there was a time in my life where I thought there was nothing I wanted to do with country music. What? Hear me out. I was raised on country music and loved it to this day, you know, but then there comes that time in your like teenage years where you're like looking for your own identity. And country music was like my parents' music. So I was like, well then maybe I'll like pop music. I even thought I might be like a pop singer at one point, which in hindsight is hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
And I remember the song even that I heard, the first like pop song I really heard. And I just thought it was like the most magical sound in the world. It was The Sign by Ace of Base. True story. I wish I were lying. I'm not. That was the song. I was like, what is this magical gift from heaven that I'm hearing? And so I thought, okay, I'm a pop guy. And I was a pop guy for years. And then I got to college, and I was hanging out at a friend's house, and her mom was watching CMT in the other room. And something came on that sounded incredible. Just sounded so much better than anything I had heard on pop radio for like the last decade. So I ran in there to see what it was. Now there's some kids here, so I'm gonna give you a little history lesson. There was a time when music videos only lived on the TV.
The dial.
And
TV was after the dial.
And if you heard something you liked and you wanted to know what it was, you had to stare at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And here's why. At some point in time, toward the end of the music video, they would put up the name of the artist and the song and then some other stuff, like usually the name of the album, record label. And it was only there for a few seconds. And if you missed it, you may never see that ever again. You don't know. You keep watching because, you know, there's a chance that song might come on again in an hour. It might come on at the end of the day, but there's also the chance that never comes on again. And that was also during the era where if you wanted to know the answer to something that you didn't know, you had to either ask someone around you. If they didn't know the answer, you had to go to the library. If they didn't know the answer, you just had to make your peace with not knowing the answer to that question. Now, kids will never know what it's like to be curious ever again, because Siri has all the answers, or Alexa. And so I ran in there, and I stared at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen for the rest of the song. And at the end of the video, it said that it was the debut single from a brand new up-and-coming country group called Rascal Flatts. So this is the song that got me back into country music. Thanks, Rascal Flatts. I'm gonna have Chatham sing this one for you.
1, 2, 3. I've got the lights turned off, the door is locked, the bedroom TV is on. You've been the only thing that gets me through the nights that you've been gone. my heart to know that you love me as much as I love you. And that you must be lying somewhere looking up to heaven too. Waiting for daylight, waiting for that morning sun, so I can act like my whole life ain't going wrong. Baby, come back to me, I swear I'll make it right. Don't make me spend another lonely night. Waiting for daylight, waiting for that morning sun, so I can act like my whole life ain't going wrong. Baby, come back to me, I swear I'll make it right. Don't make me spend another lonely night. Praying for daylight. Praying for daylight. Praying for daylight. I don't wanna spend another lonely night. I don't wanna spend another lonely night. I don't wanna spend another lonely night. Ooh, praying for daylight.
Good job, everybody. Don't have some talented friends? So lucky to be surrounded by these people. Well, we hung Chris out to dry all by his lonesome earlier, so I think it's Ernie's time.
Bring it.
And you've earned some time in the warm car with me. Ernie Holter, everybody.
Enjoy that car, guys. Thinking of you.
When you can move. You frozen.
It's actually not so bad. We're in a lanai, and a lanai makes me think of Hawaii, and Hawaii's warm, so don't ruin my dream here.
It's not warm in Florida.
Yeah. So my wife and I have twin girls. They are 10 years old now, which is crazy to me. And for a long time, people would ask me why I'd never had any song about my kids. And I didn't really have a good answer for that because I write songs about all sorts of things. And then one day I had a writing session with this girl who I'd only met once and we'd never written before. And in Nashville or anywhere, when you write a song, usually it's like an appointment. You know, you have it on your calendar. It might be there for months or 2 months. And then when you get there to write that song, you want to come out with your best ideas and hit the ground running. Because leaving a session without a song feels really yucky. So we kind of like settle in, and she starts reading me, titles. I'm hitting her with titles, and she hits me with this couple lines of a song about like a daddy-daughter song. And there have been plenty of times where I've written songs, and I remember the process of trying to figure out how to make this word fit and this thing rhyme, and it's kind of like a puzzle, and it's hard, and it takes work. And it never feels like it's quite done sometimes. And this is the one time in my entire life as a songwriter that I don't feel like I don't even really remember writing the song. I remember it being done. I remember its beginning, I remember it being finished, and I kind of blacked out in the middle. And I walked away with this song, which was just a gift to my family and mine. And I was so excited to go and play it for my daughters, who could not care less at the moment. They were 3, and I dropped them off at a friend's house to watch them while we wrote this song, and they were playing with their friends, and they didn't care. But to me, this song means a lot to me, and I think of music as being something that will outlive us, and that's also a crazy concept to me, that this song will be here when I'm not. And so this is the song that I wrote for my girls. I'll admit I was terrified the moment I saw your eyes, but I became a different man when I held your tiny hands in mine. Those first words I heard you say, I remember like yesterday. day, and time is blowing in the breeze, and you're growing up right in front of me. And Daddy's little girl, precious little angel, dancing in the living room and drawing on the table, wearing Mama's pearls, putting on her makeup. Even though I know these moments won't last forever, to me, you'll always be Daddy's little girl. Someday you'll be dressed in white, looking breathless with butterflies. And though I'll have to let you go, in my heart I hope you'll always stay. Please stay, Daddy's little girl, precious little angels, dancing in the living room and drawing on the table, wearing Mama's pearls, putting on her makeup. Even though I know these moments won't last forever, to me, you'll always be Daddy's little girl. Until then, I'll cherish every kiss goodnight, every door you'll slam, and every little fight. I will be there with you even when I'm gone. Just listen to this song as if nothing changed at all. You're still Daddy's little girl, precious little angel, dancing in my living room and drawing on the table, wearing Mama's pearls, putting on her makeup. Even though I know these moments won't last forever, to me, you'll always be me. You'll always be Daddy's little girl. As a dad, that was hard for me to sing sometimes. I lost my parents, both of them, in the last 2 years, so that also kind of hits me too. It just changes your relationship. As I see mostly a room full of women, so most of your daughters. You know, so thanks for letting me play that.
Ernie Holter, everybody. I guess this is the We're Gonna Make You Cry show.
I packed clean.
He got me for that one. Luckily, now I've heard it enough, so I can get my game face on. But I wasn't ready for that the first time I heard him do that, and then.
You don't have daughters, but you have daughters.
Well, I have a little cat girl.
Little girl cat.
I don't think I've ever even told you that we have alternate lyrics to that.
Do you really?
About our cat.
No, I did not know that.
Daddy's little girl, precious little angel, eating Mama's pearls and walking on the table. So, anyway. I'm weird to help you.
No, it's so funny.
We're going to keep Ernie on the keys. Again, both these guys are so insanely talented. Multi-instrumentalists, both of them. So we're going to leave them there, and we're going to sing the song, the first song we ever wrote together. We've written a couple at this point. But we, this one was a three-way with Jeffrey East. We wrote this with him.
Ooh.
And as you know, he's got a gift for lyrics as well. And so this was an idea I had, and I brought it to these guys because I knew Ernie would bring the right feel to it, and I knew Jeffrey would just put it over the top of the lyrics, and here's what came out. Bumped into an old friend just the other day. We picked her right up where we left off before. And when we ran out of things to say, we touched on the subject we couldn't ignore. He asked how I've been as he lowered his head, and I just stared out the window and said, I'm doing fine most of the time, but I've got a long way to go. Starting to find some peace of mind and learning to just take it slow. I'm better than I was before. I don't cry in public anymore. Bumped into an old friend. That's the first verse. Right, I just sang that part. I guess I'm fine. I remember my first show, which is right now. I guess I'm fine. Opening up to the idea of someone around. But the best part of being alone was having nobody for me to let down. I ain't lost, I'm just making my way. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm doing fine most of the time, but I've got a long way to go. Starting to find some peace of mind, learning to just take it slow. At the end of each day, I think I can say I'm better than I was before. Hell, I don't cry in public anymore. Most of the time, I've got a long way to go. Starting to find some peace of mind, learning to just take it slow. At the end of each day, I think I can say I'm better than I was before. Hell, I don't cry in public anymore. It brings me back. Happy, no, it's even on my best days. If I hear that song play, I'm headed straight for the door. Hell, I don't cry in public anymore.
always miss the same turn for some reason. And even your friends know, they're like, okay, now, remember, this is the turn, don't miss it. And you miss it anyways.
I did that on the way here. Now granted, I only come here once a year, but still, it's one of those turns that when you miss it, it adds 15 minutes to the drive, you know? Well, it was supposed to. I made a very illegal turn. We got back on track very soon. But anyway.
I used to do that every day from your place. I would just go out and be like, I think I need to turn left here, and it was never the right. It's like,
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Because to the left is a dead end. And to the right is the only way out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Left, every time.
Every time. I was like, he would see me and be like, no, don't.
It made me wonder what was down there. Like,
Yeah.
what was pulling you in that direction?
There's some
Maybe we
doors.
should have like dug in the area or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Put a Post-it note up.
All right. We put these people through enough. Let's pick it back up.
Thank you.
It's a song I wrote that was supposed to be originally in the vein of like a hairband power ballad kind of song. I wrote it for a buddy of mine who was a power tenor. And he recorded it, and then he promptly broke up with his girlfriend and fled the country, and I'm not even kidding you, I've barely heard from the guy since. But then I had this song that I really liked. It was out of my range. So I dropped it considerably, I countrified it, and I put it on my solo album. But I would like to present it to you in its original intended format, back up as a hairband power ballad. And I'm gonna have my power tenor friend here sing it for you.
Hotters all I get. The rain is getting thick and the tires are getting thin. Getting the clearest of mine. His eyes are on the road, but his heart's with Caroline. Oh, and as she sits on the floor, waiting for the word she's heard. And I see it times before. I'm on my way home. Before you know it, I'll be walking through that door. It ain't easy, I know, and I got a ways to go. But I'm on my way home. Say the baby's due any day, and it kills him to be 1,000 miles away. But she's not angry with him. She knows everything he does. He does for him. Oh, and as he wipes off the tears, she picks up the phone. This is what she hears. I'm on my way home. Before you know it, I'll be walking through that door. It ain't easy, I know, and I got a ways to go. But I'm on my way home. After waiting up of his life, he only has to sing those words one last time. I'm on my way home. Before you know it, I'll be walking through that door. Now it ain't easy, I know, and I got a ways to go. But I'm on my way home.
Chris Chatham, everybody. Singing up in the stratosphere.
Thanks, everybody.
Now, I know most of you are familiar with Patreon, and both of these fellas have Patreon campaigns that you should definitely check out. And I keep telling him he should release a version of that in that key on his Patreon, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna happen. I feel it.
Maybe if enough of y'all sign up and hassle him about it.
That's true.
I'm already there. I'll send you a message.
You're already on there?
Yeah,
Well, then just start sending him messages.
I will.
Mean, mean messages.
Mean, ugly
Where's the
one?
way home?
Oh, that's my forte. I can do it.
Just threaten to quit.
Don't go.
I don't think he'd miss it.
All right, well,
You miss every one of you.
as I mentioned, there was a period of time where I didn't want too much to do with country music. Now, even after I started enjoying listening to country music again via Rascal Flatts, I still didn't want to sing it. I still thought I was a pop singer. Again, I realize that's hilarious. And I got a gig out in Southern California writing full-time for a production company. And they let me write whatever I wanted to write, which was really cool. So, of course, I was writing pop music all the time. And, a lot of the songs that ended up on my first solo album, the best I could do, was originally, pop songs. I mean, let's be honest, like, that's not a country song. It sounds like something Sarah Bareilles would do. So we just countryfied it best we could. You just put like a steel guitar on there and you sing it. I sat down. You sing it like that instead of like a pop song. But one day the guy who ran the studio just comes in out of nowhere and he's like, hey, I struck up a deal with song pluggers in Nashville. If you don't know what a song plugger is, it's just people, their whole job is to try to like get your song placed, either have another artist sing it or maybe place the recording you did on a movie or TV show or whatever. And so they're like, I struck up a deal with song pluggers in Nashville. They really only know how to plug country songs, so I'm gonna need you to start writing exclusively country music. I was not thrilled about this. And so, I'll just preface this next part by saying, I don't drink at all anymore. I don't judge anyone that does. I just don't. About 5 years ago, I just quit drinking altogether. At the time I did, and so I went home and I drank an entire bottle of Jack Daniels. And then I wrote the most hillbilly song I could possibly think of. Because my thinking was like, if I just write like a redneck anthem, after that, just like a normal contemporary country song won't feel so bad. And wouldn't you know, to this day, that song is my most popular and successful original. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, Champagne Taste on a Beer Budget. The other day I checked my bank account and I could swear it was the wrong amount. I didn't understand because I'd been working hard. For the life of me, I didn't know where it went. I hadn't even paid the rent. Then the Mercedes pulled up in the yard. Oh, Lord, I should have seen it coming. This time I've been A song I drunkenly and sarcastically wrote.
To put
And it's
something
my
in the
biggest
country.
So, you know,
That's the way it goes.
Classic.
my biggest life lesson is listen to the universe and stay out of your own way. Because here's the thing, I still wasn't like into country music. Even though everyone was like, that song's really good, and I wrote a bunch of other songs and released that solo album, but that was because the guy I worked for wanted me to do it. But eventually, I quit that gig to go join Home Free. But here's the thing, they weren't a country group when I joined them. I was like, listen, this country stuff is chasing me, I'm gonna go join this acapella group that does pop songs. No shit. But we did like a few country songs just because they lend themselves so well to acapella music and vice versa. A lot of harmony typically built in. And so we would do a version of Your Man, but that was more to just like show me off more than to do a country song. And we would do Life is a Highway, which is a rock song, but everyone knows the Rascal Flatts version, you know, but that was the Tom Cochrane rock song. And it was just a good show opener. We didn't consider that to be a country song. So anyway, we go to audition for the sing-off.